Very good morning. This presentation is brought to you by Resonate International with a mission to leverage knowledge worldwide. The topic being covered is when pause becomes power. Ladies and gentlemen, a moment of pause can change what happens next. Between a feeling arising and a response emerging, there is often a small space, perhaps just one conscious breath. In that space, the mind can settle, emotions can regain balance, and inner energy can gather before moving into action. What appears to be stillness can therefore become a powerful moment of choice. The pause gives awareness time to enter and gives energy a conscious direction. That is where pause begins to become power. And the deeper significance of this small interval becomes clear when the movement of energy within the human system is understood. Energy is continually moving through the human system. A thought carries energy, an emotion carries energy, an intention carries energy. Every action eventually expresses some form of this inner movement. A pause creates a movement in which that energy remains available for conscious choice before becoming expression. It is therefore action within stillness, a deliberate gathering of inner forces before the next movement. Creation itself follows such rhythms. A seed gathers silently before emergence. The breath carries movement, enters stillness, and moves again. Nature reveals that stillness can be part of movement itself, a space for preparation, renewal, and direction. This timeless rhythm finds a powerful explanation in modern neuroscience. Strong emotional arousal can accelerate rapid instinctive responses while reducing the quality of deliberate executive processing. A conscious pause creates space for reflective capacities associated with the prefrontal cortex to participate more fully. The pause can therefore become a form of cognitive training, allowing observation before expression, discernment before decision, and intention before action. Ancient wisdom recognized this principle through mastery of the mind, equanimity, restraint, and conscious response. Different languages arrive at a remarkably similar insight. The quality of an action is deeply influenced by the inner state from which it emerges. But the pause can accomplish something even deeper within the energy system. In that moment of stillness, the 5 inner energy dynamos, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and aspirational, can begin synchronizing their energies. Physical vitality can steady the body. Mental clarity can organize thought. Emotional balance can refine feeling. Spiritual depth can reconnect intention with truth, righteousness, and dharma. Aspiration can restore direction towards a higher purpose. As these energies become coherent, the human energy grid becomes better powered. The inner sun becomes more radiant, and wisdom, compassion, and courage become available for the next conscious movement. This is where awakening awakens. Awareness becoming sufficiently alive to recognize the inner compass and align it with the divine cosmic compass. And this is where the pause becomes practical power. A pause can be a single breath before a difficult response. It can be a moment of silence when words require greater clarity. It can be the conscious choice to defer a response until the inner energy becomes steadier. It can become quiet listening when additional understanding, energy, or guidance from divine cosmic intelligence is needed. Steadiness then creates confidence. Confidence refines the energy transmitted through thought, word, and action. Sometimes the most powerful response is immediate. Sometimes it belongs to a later moment. Sometimes silence itself becomes the most refined transmission of energy. What's the way forward? The way forward, therefore, is a simple practice of creating that space for a pause consciously. When a strong emotion rises, pause. When an urgent thought demands expression, pause. When clarity feels incomplete, pause. One conscious breath can become the first step. In that breath, awareness enters. The inner dynamos can regroup. The brain can regain coherence. The inner sun can illuminate the next movement. With practice, the pause becomes less an interruption and more an inner discipline, transforming reaction into response. With practice, the pause becomes less an interruption and more an inner discipline, transforming reaction into response, available energy into purposeful energy, and movement into direction. Every soul carries this capacity within, the ability to create a small interval between what arises and what becomes reality. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, a moment of conscious pause reveals the deeper meaning of power itself. Power is not merely the amount of energy available within a soul. Power is the conscious ability to gather, align, and direct that energy. The pause is the quiet threshold where this transformation becomes possible. It brings clarity before movement, alignment before expression, and intention before transmission. In that brief stillness, the human energy system can become steadier, more coherent, and more receptive to divine cosmic intelligence. The next step can then emerge with greater wisdom, compassion, and courage in companionship with the divine. In the revealed Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna offers a timeless clarity established in inner peace and connection to the divine. Perform your required duties and actions actively, remaining completely even-minded. This is yoga. The essence is profound. Action becomes elevated when it arises from an inner state of steadiness and alignment. Perhaps then the greatest power may live in the moment just before action, when a soul pauses, gathers its energy, listens within, and allows the inner sun to illuminate the way. For every soul, the pause can become that quiet point of power where reaction gives way to choice energy finds its direction, and the next step becomes an expression of wisdom, compassion, and courage. When pause becomes conscious, power becomes aligned. And when power becomes aligned, every step ahead can become a more luminous expression of the divine companionship. Good luck, best wishes, and God bless.